Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 Acura Integra Type S. Huge shout out to Hendrick Acura for providing this hatchback for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This Type S is finished off in urban gray pearl. MSRP is just over $55,000. Now this is powered by the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo paired to the 6-speed manual transmission, and it pumps out 320 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. It's front-wheel drive, weighs in just shy of 3,200 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5 seconds with a top speed just shy of 170 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 12.4 gallons, and you'll expect to see it 21 miles per gallon in the city and 28 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 107.7 inches. Its overall length is 186. It has a width of 74.8, a height of 55.5, and its ground clearance measures in at 4 inches. Now as we move on to the exterior styling for the Integra Type S, this has a really good look to it. You'll notice the very large Acura logo right in the middle, which is also the sensor for distance pacing, which this model is equipped with. You'll notice parking sensors in the grille too, and Type S on the driver's side. There's also Integra stamped on the driver's side as well, just underneath the headlight housing. It is not on the passenger side, however, you will see Acura within the headlight housing itself. And for the housings, they have a dark design to them along with everything being LED. You'll notice there's some gloss black trim accents on both sides along with more parking sensors, and then plenty of cutouts in the middle along with those trim accents to provide additional cooling. Now with the rest of the grille cutouts, it has a neat design to it, flaring out to both edges, and airflow can go through there and exit this heat extraction vent. It is functional for the top of the hood there, and then there's some very nice lines flowing around the side of it. Now as we work our way to the side design, this has a set of 19-inch wheels along with the Brembo brake calipers, and this model also features the adaptive dampers for the suspension along with those brake calipers up front being 4-piston. And this does feature a limited slip differential as well. Now you'll notice too, the fender arches have a good poke out to them, so it gives it a mini wide body design. There's also the Type S badge, a turn signal for the mirrors, and then there's the window trim finished off in black. No sunroof for this model. And then as we take a step back, very prominent lines and edges flowing down the side, especially going through that front door handle and then in the lower side skirt. Now as we work our way to the back, this has the Integra specific gloss black spoiler. There's also the Type S badge, LEDs for the lighting, there's a backup camera, parking sensors, and then the center triple exit exhaust, which definitely gives it a unique look along with the rest of the gloss black and some of the fins in that diffuser. Now as we work our way to the cargo space, just reach up underneath the Acura logo and we can open up the hatchback design. So you have a little bit more space than a traditional trunk opening, and it's a pretty deep compartment as well. Now if you compare this to the Honda Civic Type R, which is essentially the same vehicle, it does have a lower opening compared to this model, but you still have an easy reach inside, and you can even lift up the floor where there's a little bit of storage to place some items. There's also a cargo net, and then this is equipped with the ELS Studio audio system with the 16 speakers. Now of course you can fold down the back seats as well, so that gives you a lot more practicality for this model. So you can fit in some larger items, which is great if this is your only vehicle. Now as we work our way to the interior, this model is paired with the red accents. So you'll notice that on the door panel, there's also some storage down below, and then some matte black trim accents too, and then solid red for these seats. Now in order to fold them down, simply pull the release by the headrest, and you have a very large opening, like I mentioned, to place in some larger items. And then at 5'10", hopping in, I have a good bit of space. You'll notice there's a storage pocket on the passenger side, small bulge in the middle, so it's not that intrusive for your middle passenger. There's also 2 cup holders right in the middle. Nothing folds down from the back here. And then you have a good bit of visibility with those smaller windows. And at my height, 5'10", I'm just barely touching the headliner. So I could ride around town. You could fit a car seat back here. This is doable for adults to ride around. So if you're looking for a practical vehicle, any taller than me, you'd want to be up front, of course, but it is doable to have passengers in the back. And then with that small window on this side, it gives you a better visibility as well. Now, taking a look at the front door panel, this has the window controls, side mirror adjustments, there's more storage down below, and then a neat trim accent going off of that speaker there. Type S is down on the door sill, and then this has power operating front seats with Type S in the headrest and a 2-tone design for up front, which is neat to see. Now as we hop in, we're greeted with a solid and perforated leather steering wheel with Type S down below and some neat trim accents. But let's start this up and take a listen to how this sounds. And coming back to the gauge cluster, you'll notice there's some fixed info on the far left and far right for fuel and temperatures. And then within the digital gauge cluster, you can go through a lot more using the rotary dials on both sides. Now also on this left side, there's voice commands, volume and tuning. On the right side, there's the cruise control settings with the steering assist. So by using the dial on the left side, we can scroll through basically all of your audio adjustments. So you can decide what you'd like to listen to, of course, hooking up your phone as well, and you can customize this display. So you can go into this information here, and everything that is checked is what I was scrolling through. You can check and uncheck depending on what you would like to have shown on that screen. And then you can also go into the display content. So you have a few more that you can monitor and go through. Now, as we work our way to the right side, you have some more daily driving information that you can go through, just depending on what you'd like to see. There's also some performance information too. And you have quite a lot that you can scroll through. So it is nice. You even can get into the head-up display, so you can adjust those settings, and you have a few settings you can go into for the gauge cluster itself there. Now for the head-up display, it's currently showing miles per hour and the speed limit sign, and then you have a few configurations here that you can get into as well. So very nice to see those adjustments. Now on the left, there's traction control, one air vent, and then working our way to the infotainment system, there's quite a lot that you can go through. If you push on home, you get into this system right here where you can go through these icons just depending on what you'd like to see. So you have a good bit. You can get into vehicle settings as well and monitor some of this information. So you can get into the head-up display. You can look at the gear position as well. There's also turn by turn that you can monitor. You can click on back here and get into some more of these reminders. And then you can also go into your doors and windows. There's even some individual settings too. So you can adjust the engine, steering, suspension, and the gauge cluster from Comfort to Sport Plus, just depending on how you want the vehicle to react. So that is very nice to see, especially for a daily driver. You have a few different ways that you can configure this, which is great to see. And then you can also swipe over within the vehicle settings too. There's some maintenance information to look at. There's also audio and tuning. And then in the lower section, there's also shortcuts within the screen. So you can get into your phone, your different audio adjustments. There's even the display and some shortcuts that you can adjust as needed. Now underneath that, there's more of the air vents with that same trim accent, and then the climates are laid out very well. So there's fan speed, temperature dials, where you'd like the air to go, even some defrosters too, and this has heated seats. There's also wireless charging with auxiliaries down below, and then some suede for the shifter boot. There's also the perforated leather and the pattern up top. So if I push this all the way to the right and down, that is for reverse, where there's a few different angles to pull up depending on what you'd like to see. Type S is also on the trim accent surrounding it, and then you also have a few different driving modes. So there's Sport, Sport Plus, and Comfort, and then an individual mode. And in individual mode, you can customize that to your liking. So you can have everything set up and ready to go for the type of driving you will be doing. There's auto hold and the e-brake, and then cup holders, a little bit of storage. There's also storage in the glove box. And then up top is the rear view, there's dome lights, and even a sunglass holder as well. And then a look at visibility for this hatchback. It's very easy to see over both shoulders, so this would make for a great daily driver with the amount of visibility you have. As we set off behind the wheel now for the Acura Integra Type S, this definitely sounds really good, especially with everything in Sport Plus, and this is going to be a very sporty hatchback to drive. It also appears to have active rev matching, so it is doing that in the background, especially with everything being in Sport Plus there. But with the pedal box, let's talk about that because this has the manual transmission. The clutch is very lightweight and the pedal box is easy enough to rev match yourself if you wanted to. So I like that layout, and the shifter is very notchy too. So it's definitely going to give you good feedback to make this a sporty driving car. Now, I haven't been in the Type S in quite some time, but I have driven the Honda Civic Type R. My brother owned a Type R, so you can take a look at that playlist. going over all of the modifications and basically what this vehicle is like to own, because essentially this is a Type R. It is more expensive. There's some nicer materials for this model too. I really like the seats, the updated audio as well. So you do get some more premium feeling materials and features that the Type R does not have. But it is essentially the same vehicle, about 5 more horsepower, and that is about it. So we have the manual transmission, front wheel drive, everything else is nearly identical for that car. So this is a great vehicle to own. Based on my brother's experience with the Type R, it was a very practical and usable vehicle. He used that for putting items in the back, basically using it as an SUV in a sense, with folding the seats down and putting in larger items. So if it is your only vehicle, it is going to be something that you can use on a daily basis to haul items. They use it for house projects, things like that. And at the end of the day, it's a performance type of vehicle. So if you're looking to do some performance driving, you want something that's going to get good MPG. It's going to be very easy to drive and maneuver, really good turning radius there. It's a perfect blend. So you can still have a very fun and sporty vehicle, something he can put the car seat in the back as well. It gives you those practicalities to where you can still have a fun driving vehicle. And so we'll give it a small acceleration here. I'm still in Sport Plus, and you can hear a few pops in that exhaust. Now, if I put it into comfort mode, the exhaust will get a little bit less loud, of course, and then the suspension is going to adapt very nicely for the type of driving that you are doing. So again, a really good blend, not overly powerful, but it definitely gives you enough power to drive this on a daily basis and really experience performance style driving. Even with the front wheel drive system, it has the limited slip, so it is going to corner very well. Not like all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, but you can get used to how to carry the momentum of this vehicle around turns and really use this vehicle as something to either learn how to start doing some performance style driving, or you want something that's just not intimidating, yet you can still have fun, ring out all the gears. I think it has that good power balance where you can play with all the gears and really not get into trouble ringing them out and just having a very sporty drive. And still in all the Sport Plus settings, here we go. And just a minor acceleration. This has a lot more potential, of course. Again, you can take a look at the Honda Civic Type R playlist on our channel if you want to see some performance style driving with a vehicle that's essentially the same. That's the only reason I referenced that, because I won't be doing any performance style driving today, but it will be nearly identical to that model. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Integra Type S. Definitely a very fun vehicle to drive. The manual transmission really adds to the driver engagement. And like I mentioned earlier with how light the clutch pedal feels, this also has the hill start assist. So again, if you're fairly new to a manual transmission, you do have some aids like that in the background. There's a pop. And it's very fun to drive. Now with the driver's seat here, very comfortable. At 5'10", I have about 2.5 inches or so of headroom, and that is with the height adjustment all the way down. So you could be a little bit taller than me and still fit comfortably in this vehicle, still have people being able to easily fit behind you. This also has the gear indicator on the lower left there, which is nice, but other than that, very comfortable to drive. I have it in Sport Plus at the moment, so it is a little bit on the harsher side, but of course that is the point for that mode. So you can go between them depending on what's in front of you and your drive for the day. But it's going to be very well insulated as well, and just a perfect blend to be a daily driver when you need it to be, and then a performance vehicle when you are ready to have some fun. So that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 Acura Integra Type S. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Acura for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.